Got my legal hustle, welcome to the trap. I can blow a stack, bet I make it back. You can hit my line if you need a track. But we can't even talk if it ain't about the back.
What's going on, y'all? It's the kid J Nolan here. Hey man, I want to talk to y'all real quick about SoundCloud and how they're seeming to be moving into the new model of signing artists, right? But they're not signing artists to direct deals, which is why it may not seem like they're actually doing this. I'm going to break down a couple of partnerships that they have, which is funneling artists into the SoundCloud system. And it's going to give you a little bit more insight on how the music industry could be transforming moving forward if this thing goes right. Now, a few months ago, I told you guys that Coach Kei over at Solid Foundation Management inked a deal with SoundCloud where they were going to be finding talent and navigating them and bringing them into the SoundCloud system, giving them some more resources, etc. I would not be surprised if that forms into more of a label situation similar to what QC already has involved, but just using the SoundCloud firepower and budget. But SoundCloud also just announced a JV partnership with a company called Third and Hayden, which is actually going to be signing acts, but they're going to be funneled through directly with SoundCloud, right? JV, right? So you're going to be signed to SoundCloud and Third and Hayden. Now, what is Third and Hayden? For my people in Atlanta, you probably already know what time it is. Shout out to Kei Henderson, okay? Now, me personally, I've never met Kei. I don't think I've met Kei, but she has had a big influence on a number of independent artists in the Atlanta area. She's catapulted artists like 21 Savage to the mainstream, and she's done a lot more work behind the scenes. She also elevated the artist Kei. I know they have the same name, but her name is spelled K-E-I. His name is spelled K-E exclamation mark. And got him on national tours and things of that nature as well. So she's been putting in a lot of work. And this JV deal was made specifically to develop the next generation of artists. What that sound like, y'all? It's going to be an incubator label serving under SoundCloud. The big draw for Third and Hayden is that they're intending to allow artists to maintain and retain ownership of your masters, right? So you're still going to be able to have a bigger budget. You're going to have experts in the music industry that have launched real careers, but you're still going to retain ownership of your masters. I think this is going to be a very appealing thing for most of us because that seems to be a big question. It's like, who's going to own the masters? Who's going to own the publishing? Who's going to own this? Who's going to own that? And although every artist doesn't understand what that means and entails, it is something that is very important to just about every artist, at least to ask that question. And the label is going to be ran out of or operating out of Bandwidth Studios. For those of y'all that don't know about Bandwidth Studios, you need to start looking them up, man. It's owned, operated, and created by the producer named Willpower. He's produced with Focus, Dre. I mean, it's just a who's who of people that he's done work with and for. Yellow Wolf, Crit, all these people, right? Bandwidth itself was formed almost as a label incubator system within the Atlanta environment where they were helping artists to develop. So this makes perfect sense that they got with Third and Hayden to bring artists into the fold, you know what I'm saying? Because it's already in the ethos of their studio system. You can't just walk in Bandwidth Studios and book a session without knowing nobody. And that's not how their operation works. It's a homegrown, family-run business. So I'm going to be very excited to see how this thing ends up going. Not to mention that Bandwidth Studios is huge. They have 3 primary rooms that you can record in. They also have a content studio and an event space. I've actually seen them put up a huge sound stage in the back and do their own music festival outdoors on their facility. They have everything that you would need for a self-sustainable music company. Now, signing on as the first artist on Third and Hayden are singer-songwriter Jordan Hawkins, Atlanta-based rapper Kei, like I told you guys. And the management side of their company is currently managing artists Ben Riley, Azion, Kenneth Wallum, Anastasia, and Nutso Thuggin. Kei Henderson is also a strategic advisor and consultant at BeatBread. I just told you guys a few weeks ago or a couple weeks ago about how BeatBread is rallying and upping the ante on the amount of money that they're trying to give out or finance to independent artists as long as you have some sort of streaming history or some sort of history of bringing in money on a yearly basis. So I'm quite sure some of that partnership is going to matriculate into what's going on with this as well, because Beat Bread is into financing. They're in the financing business. But here's a direct quote from Kei. She says, "We want artists to find success as independents, to set the foundation for long-term careers and move through their careers with leverage and creative control. SoundCloud is typically one of the first touch points for indie artists, and I feel a great part of my career has been brand building with artists from day zero. For this reason, they're the best partner for what we're building. We're being intentional on ground up development," right? So for all you artists out there that are looking to get signed, looking for people to co-sign you and all of those types of things, you got a new target. Try to get in contact with Kei Henderson, okay? Now, I'm not guaranteeing, I definitely don't guarantee that you're going to get a response, but at the very least, follow her on Twitter, Instagram, you know what I'm saying? Engage with her, you know what I mean? Try to be as friendly and as neutral as you can. Don't be so imposing, you know what I mean? A lot of y'all like to spam people, and I told y'all about that spam stuff, man. Y'all still are not getting it through your thick skulls that you can't be doing that. But again, remember, Kei managed 21 Savage into mainstream success. So be sure to take inventory on the hand that you've been dealt and play that month to your best of your ability. All right. And with solid foundation management, Third and Hayden joining the SoundCloud family, expect more of these JV partnerships and label deals and things of that nature on the independent side to continue trickling down in the SoundCloud family. This looks like this is the future of their company. They have the streaming infrastructure. They have the relationship with artists, because like he said, this is a starting point for a lot of people. When I was putting my music out back in 2009, one of my first locations was SoundCloud, because it had an easy access. There was no real barriers to entry. I was able to put my music up. I could share it. I could put it on Twitter. I could put it everywhere, and people were able to get to it without any setbacks. Now, a lot has changed. They've got ads now on there. I don't think there's a way around it at this point, because that's kind of how the money gets made in order to monetize the streams. But when you add people that really do care about music, and you start going around the country and getting the most brilliant people and the most artist friendly representatives abroad, you start putting together a recipe for success, man. So I'm interested to see how this goes. And if your artist is finding success on SoundCloud, man, be sure to let us know down below in the comments, man. Let me know what you guys think. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, man. I'm not gonna bite you, man. I don't give you nothing but good content, good word, and good insight. What else you need, man? I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one, all right? Much love and respect, y'all. Peace.